And I'll leave that alone. Very good. I can see that the frequency is not in use. So this is K4PEW net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex net. I can also imagine that, but I know there's no emergency traffic, but if there is, check in at any time. If you do have an emergency, call 911. Or you can call us next if you want to. Right now you can see the on YouTube. We should go to YouTube, which is you can put MJSS in the search block on YouTube. It'll bring up, I think it's called a Premiere, but you'll be able to, I'm sure you can figure it out. You can see the front side of my radio where it shows my signal strength versus others, your signal strength versus others. You can also hear me. If I'm sure you can hear me on the radio, on your own receiver, but you can hear other people on the YouTube feed that you might not otherwise be able to hear, and you can figure out why that's happening if you can do anything about it. You can also go to 140. Oh, you can also wait a minute, hang on. You can also go to Facebook, and if you want to, you can see me doing the net. That's Facebook Live. Just look up Simplexton Net, MJ space Simplexton Net. If you're already on Facebook and you have me and your friends thingy, or I have you and your friends thingy, whatever, it'll be there. Anyway, you can also go to 146.415.net for information on Simplex. You can also go to groups.io and look up MJSS, Mount Juliet Simplex Society. You sign up for our routine reminders about our nets as well as some other nets in the area. We also publish reminders for, well, we also publish information regarding technical things if you have questions. We also have there's about 200 of us in there, so there's a reasonably good database of brain power in there about technical issues regarding ham radio, if not other things, but we kind of limit the ham radio. I know knitting questions, crocheting, shoemaking, maybe, lumbering, maybe lumberjacks, maybe. Or you can email me at k4pewarl.net. And that normally meets at 8 p.m. every Sunday and Wednesday night, or excuse me, Saturday and Wednesday night, or Wednesday and Saturday night, whichever is you prefer. We conduct the net tonight, of course, as we do on other nights, on 146.415 FM Simplex. We also, person that is to have fun. Figure out who you can hear, who you can't hear. Figure out how you can make your station better if that's possible. Don't spend any money unless you have the direct approval of the station manager, and you know who that is. It ain't you. No, it's your budget and your family come first, of course. You certainly don't want to be spending money on radios when you got bills to pay. I don't know anybody who hasn't got bills to pay. Got to eat. As far as events, tonight is the big event, of course. We do our nets tonight here on 146.415 FM, and we move on to 144.240 upper sideband, then on to 50.135 upper sideband, and then to 223.415 excuse me, on FM. That's actually been picking up. I'm kind of pleased with that. The 220 net has picked up quite a bit. We've had as many, I think, as 10 or 11, I think. But we're averaging about 6 or 7 in there, and I think we had 8 this last net. So it's been good. It's all good, no matter how many we get, but it's all good. More people are picking up on the idea that 220 is an actual band. It can be used, and it's a pretty good band. Other announcements, we had a good breakfast this morning. And then I guess I'll move on to, unless there's any other announcements. Are there any more other announcements? Nope, it's not. Then we'll go on to, this is net number 976. We'll be starting with people short on time, mobile, or first-time check-ins. This is net. After that, we'll be starting from the north. And again, net number 976. We still got the countdown to 1,000. Can't believe it. Okay. By the way, just as a quick recap on the other announcements, on the DMR net we had tonight, we had 7 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 7. And on D-Star we had 6, and on C4 FM, which is the Yaesu Fusion, we had 7 as well. So it's even it's a good number average for us. We're hoping that picks up over time, but over time things change. So we'll hope it gets better in the years to come. Okay, do we have any short timers, people short on time, or people short on time, mobile or first time checking? All right, Brian, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm just checking
Oh, you must be batching it today, huh? Yeah, I didn't catch it. You got some still buzzing noises in there from the QTH, so I don't know what's going on. But everything else okay? I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty noisy. Well, anyway, good to have you in there. There was Brian. He's in Hendersonville. He is called as Kilo Alpha 3 Charlie Tango Papa. Kilo Alpha 3 Charlie Tango Papa. Who else is short on time mobile or first time checking? Yeah, it must be in Hendersonville because I got noise on you too there. Who am I talking to? K4BBA. That's Mike. Yeah, very good. I got you in there, but we're really noisy. I can't believe how noisy it is. I'm hoping other stations aren't this noisy. I don't know why that would be, but I had noise on. I was talking to Brian earlier this evening, and he also had noise earlier. So I think it is a Henderson. I hope it is anyway. Anyway, good to have you in there, Mike. That was Kilo 4 Victor Alpha. I don't want to struggle with trying to understand what you're saying because it's tough. Who else is a short on time mobile or first time tickets?
This is KQ4 OKO in Gladeville.
Ah, very good. How are you doing tonight? KQ4 is excuse me, Oscar Kilo Oscar. I remember. I do not remember your first name.
I didn't give it. It's Ray. This is my first go around. I'm new. Just picked up my license this last week.
Oh, awesome. Did you take the test over in Wilson County? Is that where you did it in Lebanon?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Oh, that's awesome. We're glad to have you in there, Ray. You're the second person in Gladeville on the net. You'll hear one of the other fellows will hear him. What kind of rig are you using over there? Because you got a pretty good signal.
I'm using my coach, Kevin, KI4ZDG. He's been a good help for me, and I'm using his rig tonight.
Ah, that's the other that's the other Gladeville operator that I was talking about. So you already know who he is.
Yes, sir. He's been a good help for me.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad. Welcome to the world of ham radio, and it is exciting. It really is. It's so many different things you can do if you have the time and the money. Some things you don't need a lot of money for though. Getting on the air on local nets is always a lot of fun, and going to like ham club meetings and getting along, learning things from other people is really important. So you've never been in ham radio before?
No, sir. First dive in. A little overwhelmed right now, but we'll figure it out.
Well, that's one of the reasons our groups like this are here for that. That's why I say we have about 200 people on our email list. And so you can, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Because like I said, we got 200 people here, and they can answer questions about equipment, about radios, about whatever, whatever you can think of that you might be struggling with. I remember how I struggled first too. Even though I had a technical background, it wasn't anything to do with radio, or very, very darn little with radio. And so you do feel overwhelmed, just trying to figure out. I remember struggling with the bands and remembering which frequencies were which and which bands were which, and so it was a bit of a stretch.
Well, it helps to listen. I've enjoyed listening to the net from time to time over the last few months, and there's been some good info there.
Oh, very good. I'm glad. Yeah, we don't ever know because we can't tell who is listening to us, which is fine. I mean, there's no way we could listen. But anyway, appreciate you. I appreciate you coming into the group. And if you can, maybe Kevin already told you about. You can sign up for the emails there. To connect on groups.io.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
That is Kilo Quebec for Oscar Kilo Oscar, correct? Is that right, Ray?
Yes, sir. That's correct. Kilo Quebec for Oscar Kilo Oscar.
Oh, very good. That's very good. Yeah, the Q kind of throws me for a loop. I didn't realize we're into Qs now. There always been O's before that. Anyway, that was Ray, first time check-in, and he's just got his ham license this past week, and wish him well. Hope we can be of benefit to him. He's already had the benefit of having a mentor over there, Kevin over there in Gladeville. Anyway, that was Kilo Quebec for Oscar Kilo Oscar. Who else is first time check-in or short on time or by short on time or mobile. All right, we'll move right into the north end. Please come now.
CE4 TW Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha.
All right, I had Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha, but also I got Wes in there first. Wes, go ahead.
Hey, I heard the station down in Glayville, but it was really weak. I don't know what he was using. When I turned the beam down there, I heard he give his call. Things are soggy and wet here, just north of Potsdam. Everything's going good at KE4 TWI.
Yeah, I forgot to say, I wanted to ask people who were interested, and I don't know whether you are or not, Wes, but I was going to ask people, since the Super Bowl's this weekend, I don't pay that much attention to football anymore myself after watching it for about 50 years. Kind of burned out. But I was just wondering, asking questions about I don't care about who wins the Super Bowl this weekend, because who knows how that's going to go. But the most memorable Super Bowl, if you had one.
No, I don't. I have as much respect for the NFL as they did for our flag. So enough on that. KE4 TWI.
I hear you. Well, this is pre-flag issues for me, anyway. All right, that was Wes. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. I think I heard Ricky in there tonight.
Yes, Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. First of all, congratulations, Ray, on punching that ticket. That you're on the air, and hope to hear you soon. Anyway, hey, oh man, what was my favorite Super Bowl? You know what? I always go back to, I think it was the 90s, early 90s, or maybe late 80s. It was the Bears and Patriots. The Bears won it 40-something to 20-something, I believe it was. But yeah, it was the first time the Bears had got in there, and they just, I think McMahon was a quarterback back for him at that time, and Walter Payton was still playing. But yeah, I guess that would be probably the one that I remember or liked the best.
Yeah, I think McMahon was the one. Didn't he get penalized? Didn't he get a fine for wearing that headband with the commissioner's name on it?
Yeah, I don't know about fine, but he got trouble. I think for doing the Nike emblem on there too, that he was getting in trouble for because somehow or another they wasn't sponsoring, or they didn't pay for the right to wear it or something.
Yeah, that's right. Crazy. Yeah, I remember that game. The Bears were a powerhouse there for a while, weren't they?
Oh yeah, man. Well, yeah, back in that time they were. You know, them and the Steelers were usually the best defensive team as far as in the run game, but that was pretty much it. You know, they don't play football like they used to, and they baby the quarterback too much for me. I mean, it's okay. You know, I think they just went overboard with protecting the quarterback and all of that. That it's you know, it almost takes away from the game when you can't rush the quarterback to mess up that pass play like they used to.
Yeah, but there's a lot of quarterbacks they're still in rehab from that era, you know.
Well, I guess you're right, but you know that was the game. You know, people went to watch it. We were all cheering like a bunch of gladiators, like anyway. But you know, it was rough. It was rough, and you're right. There's a lot of people that paying the price for their hard years like they had. But yeah, I think they're going too soft though on some of those calls that they're roughing the quarterback. You know, but you know, helmet to helmet a little bit. You know, I mean, come on, that's what the helmets are for. But anyway, we could beat this to death for a while. But anyway, I don't want to take too much time. God bless everybody out there listening in. This is K4 BWA, Ricky in Portland.
Very good. That was Ricky in Portland, Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. Yeah, maybe the next step in football is protect the quarterback further. They'll make it flag football, and I'll have to take the flag out of his back pocket. Who else is from, where was I? The north.
Kilo 4 Tango November Romeo.
Good. This is Larry, right? Tango November Radio is not Larry. Forgive me your name again. I forgot.
This is Kevin and Bethpage, Kilo 4 Tango November Radio.
Ah, very good. I had a brain freeze there for the moment. Sorry about that, Kevin. I was promising to remember that everything about that, but it just blew by me again. How are you doing this morning or this evening?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I ate breakfast with the club this morning, and Sumner County has a Elmer's class every once a month on Saturdays, and it's usually the second Saturday. So we did that. Had a good time answering a bunch of questions for a lot of newer people, of which I'm one of those newer people. So it's been a good day.
Oh yeah, it was very good. Where do they have the breakfast?
At the Early Bird in Hartsville.
Ah, very good. It sounds Hartsville. I don't think I know which one that is. I'll have to look on the map where that. I've been to Hartsville, but I don't remember where the Early Bird is.
It's between Gallatin and Lafayette and Red Bull and Springs, kind of in that area.
Ah, okay, very good. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's why I didn't know. I don't know. I don't believe I've been on that particular road. But anyway, no particular Super Bowl for you in the past.
Oh, Colin Kaepernick turned me off from the NFL, so I watch soccer now. I don't really care for the NFL.
Oh no, I know. I'm with you. I'm with any of those. Because I have not watched an NFL football game in its entirety, or even in any major piece, somewhere since the 90s. But again, it's because I've watched football from about 1959 through 1990 something. So I already had my fill of football. And no, I'm just talking about those who did watch football in the past. All of my good memories are from a long time ago. Anyway, very good, Kevin. I'm glad you're in there. I'm sorry about forgetting your name and where you were located. And yeah, Bethpage. It was Kevin, Kilo 4 November Tango Romeo, and Bethpage. Was there anything else, Kevin?
No, that's it. I'll catch you next time. Have a good night. Kilo 4 Tango November Romeo. Clear.
Yeah, very good. Kevin, Kilo 4 Tango November Romeo, and Bethpage. Who else is north? Over to the west.
KO4 OTV.
Hello, Joel. Do I hear a noise or you got a cold?
Yeah, I got the HF in the back. Yeah, I was screaming a lot last night at the Pantera show up in Freakstone there.
Whose show was it?
That's an old heavy metal band from the 90s. Me and a buddy of mine decided we go see it because we haven't seen them in over 25 years. So we went down there and checked it out, man. I had a great time.
Oh, wow. So you actually it was like a time machine for you.
Yeah, pretty much. It was actually amazing how many people showed up, man. It was thousands. It was unbelievable. I haven't been to one in so long. And it's kind of a last minute deal. And yeah, we had night of screaming and lots of noise, and I still can't hear well.
What? How much were the tickets for that?
Oh, I think both of them were like 150, so it was like 70 a piece, I think.
Yeah, well, that's not too terrible. Do you have good seats?
Oh yeah, I could. Heck, I could have probably spit and hit the stage.
Oh, wow. I think that was part of the program.
No doubt. Yeah, it was wild to say the least. We had a big time. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, but yeah, we had a good time, man. It was a lot of people showed up. I haven't done anything like that in many years, so it was brought back a lot of memories to say the least.
It wasn't as rowdy as it was then, I'll bet. I bet they were worse 25 years ago.
Oh, by far. Yeah, the kids now are nowhere near as rowdy as we were, which times are different. Like the mosh pits and all that crazy nonsense we used to do, and the pits they had this time was kind of more of a circle and people jumping around. It was it was funny, but we had a great time and got to see some. It was kind of a tribute type thing as well, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And they played all their favorite. Did they have any new songs?
Oh no, it was all the classics. I haven't heard anything new out of any of them, and two of the existing band members are past now, so it was kind of more dedicated to them.
Yeah, I get it. There's so many people. You know what the losses? I'm presuming, but there's too many people in that business that die young, and I think we know the reason.
Well, Diamond Darrell was the lead guitarist of that band, and he was murdered on stage in the Rosa Villa in Ohio in 2004.
Oh man, he went out with a glory.
Oh yeah, there's some deranged band. He was playing him and his brother. You know, they were brothers in the band. They were like the ones that created Pantera, and they started this. And when things went south with Pantera, they started their own band, and a deranged band charged the stage and shot him in the back of the head 5 times.
Man, that's like so far over the top. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's never happened ever. I mean, besides with him, I mean, it was a big documentary on it. Yeah, it's all over the place. I mean, it was a huge deal at the time. I mean, Pantera in the '90s, you know, kind of hung the flag high for the metal bands, and you know, it was like, you know, because back in those days it was kind of alternative grunge type music, and they were like, you know, they were the band, you know, they were world renowned, you know, they were unbelievable in the '90s, man. They were a force to reckon with, and when that happened, it was very devastating.
So they did rule out it was a hit by another band.
So, well, his brother, he died from a heart attack at 56 in his sleep, and he was a little bit heavier set. And I think that's, you know, and I think you know, him and his brother were real tight. And I think, you know, over time it just took its toll on him. I think he drank pretty heavy, but he wasn't on any hard drugs or anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. Any favorite Super Bowls in the past?
Oh, is that what we're asking tonight? Yeah, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, 2011. That was pretty good, and the Janet Jackson incident was pretty good.
Yeah, that made it memorable. That's for sure.
Boy, did it ever!
Like it wasn't planned, right?
All right.
Yeah, nothing happens by accident in show business. You ever notice that?
Yeah, it was a wardrobe malfunction. That's what they say.
Yeah, sure it was. She wasn't. No, everybody has a wardrobe malfunction with that. You know, with that appliance she had built into her.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's funny. You haven't heard anything about her since.
I guess she still has a following. I don't. Listen, as you know, you've been around show business way more than I have. Anybody who's successful can keep an audience and make money. I'm happy for them.
And absolutely, and if she could come back tomorrow and have fans from everywhere. I mean, that show last night proved that to me. I was not expecting that last night. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely, she could come back tomorrow with a whole new album or just a single or whatever it would take, and they'd be all over.
She just needs to come back with her brother.
Uh,
Very good. That was Joel. Nothing else for the net?
No, that's it, Paul. Carry on. KO4 OTV.
Very good. That was Joel, KO4 OTV up in west of Ashland City. He's a heavy metal man. I found that. I didn't know that. I would have thought a lot less of him if I knew that. Who else is who else is west?
W4JDM.
Whiskey 4 Juliet Delta Mike. Is that correct?
Affirmative. John in Greenbrier. Good evening.
Oh, very good, John. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. The usual stuff this weekend.
Yeah, usual stuff, except for the rain puts a lot of usual stuff right out the door.
Well, it gives you a lot of time behind the radio, which is good.
Well, my favorite, you know, it's in the I've been married total about 50 years between 3 different wives, and I've learned that some of the best excuses I've learned over the years for why I'm not working in the yard. One of them is rain. One of them it rained recently. The other one, it's the grass is still wet from the dew. You know, all I can come up with more excuses.
Yeah, I've been using those as well. And obviously, a couple of weeks ago we had all that snow, so that helped.
Oh, the snow is now the bad part about the snow is it kind of locks you into the house and you can't hardly do anything else anywhere else, you know.
Well, I got a lot of good DX contacts that week, so I'm not upset about that.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet. No, it's always a pain. I mean, here it's a pain. When I was a child, and when I lived up north, well, I guess how long did I live total up north? Until I was about 25. And the reason it's not bad up there is because generally they're ready for normal snow. They're not ready for 4 feet of snow, but they're ready for, so the roads get cleared within a matter of one day. So you're able to get around town fairly easily in maybe 1.5 days at worst. So it's not a big deal. But here, 4 inches of snow kills them.
Where are you from up north?
I was born and raised in Niagara Falls, New York.
Oh, all right. Well, that's I'm sure that was a fun place to grow up.
Oh, I had a ball. I was as I look back and having grown up in that era, I feel like I had to leave it to beaver life in in a relatively small city on the Canadian border. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good small towns like that up there in that neck of the woods. My wife is from a little town in New Hampshire called Littleton, which is kind of like that.
Oh yeah, Littleton is a great little town. It's a beautiful town, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a lot of people know about that town, and it's one of those places that you don't normally hear of. But when you go there, you're just like, this is just really kind of what you think is New England kind of Americana.
Well, the interesting part about New Hampshire to me is I was there when I was very young. I haven't been back there since. In fact, it's particularly interesting to me because all those areas around Littleton in the middle to north section of New Hampshire, none of them are crappy towns. They're all nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, some beautiful country up there, some beautiful mountains. I was lucky enough to be there for the fall, for the leaves to change. 2 years, probably about 2 years apart, and just gorgeous. If you're up there at the right time, it's just amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it's and I don't want to get anybody get the wrong impression. Tennessee, I've lived in well for a year, more than a few months, but I've lived in Florida for 35 years. I lived here in Tennessee for 12 now, and I lived in New York State for 20. Well, New York State and New England for 25 years, and every area of the country has its own beauty, even if you have to get used to it. Kind of like Florida doesn't have the beauty of mountains and the real big changing of the leaves. It's a lot of any snow of any consequence. But every area has its beauty. You just got to look for it, and it's not hard to look for it in New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's for sure. Whereabouts in Florida?
I lived in Tampa for 35 years.
I was born in Dunedin.
Oh yeah, when my father came to visit me for the first time in Tampa, he was looking at the map for places to go, and he goes, "What's up with this town called Dunedin?"
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I lived there for, I lived in that area. I lived in Pinellas County for 42 years before I moved here, and I decided I didn't want to die in Florida without living somewhere else. So got an opportunity to move up here. So it's been almost 9 years now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Pinellas County is a great county. They have a good administration, and they have one of the best park systems in the state. And it's got some great beaches all over the place. And just the problem is the traffic and the growth has killed it.
Oh yeah, it is definitely not the way it used to be. I remember when we would go to church and we'd be getting stuck in traffic on a 2-lane road, which is now 8 lanes, and there'd be cows on the side of the road, right through the middle of Dunedin.
Oh, I believe it. I remember when Dunedin was very small when I moved there in '74. A lot of stuff was pretty small in '74. I thought Tampa was I went downtown and I came back and told my then wife, I said, we live in a cow town. It just seemed like a small city compared to the others I had lived in. But anyway, yeah, no, Florida is, like I said, you have to look for the beauty, but there is a lot of nice stuff in Tampa. I love being near the water. I love, except for here. I've always lived there near the ocean or the Great Lakes. Those. So I kind of miss that.
Well, you're right about that. Every place has its beauty, and Florida definitely has some of that. But I'm really happy I made the change and moved up here, and I honestly hate going back to Florida. I got family there, and it's listen, I'm gonna back on out of here and let you get back to your net, W4GDM, and we'll go back to net control. Thank you, sir.
Very good. We skipped do you have any, can you come to mind with a Super Bowl you remember best?
Probably the one with the Bears, with the what's his name, McMahon and refrigerator Perry. He did that touchdown, and then they all did the Super Bowl shuffle. That's probably the only one I really remember, other than the Bucks winning the Super Bowl their first time. But I've never really been a football fan. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I really don't like. But that's pretty much it. W4JDM, back to net control.
Very good. That's John, Whiskey 4 Juliet Delta Mike, and he's in. Did you say Greenbrier, or did you say where?
Yep, in the Greenbrier.
Okay, very good. That was Greenbrier one. Shortened it to GB, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't Green Bay. Who else? Who else is West?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Should I ask you who you hated for the Super Bowl over the years, there, Greg?
I have never watched football, never in my entire life, much less most sports, but particularly football. Most years, many years, I don't even know who's playing until Super Bowl Sunday. All this year, what is it? Taylor Swift is versus the 49ers.
No, I think Taylor Swift is playing Beyonce.
Oh, sweet, like flag football.
Oh, it's going to be one of those wrestling in a jello pit.
Yeah, I truly like that. I'm not sure if I've ever watched the Super Bowl. That's just how far out I am. So anyway, and there's more important things that I've learned recently. For instance, apparently we need whole body deodorant.
Oh yeah, really. I didn't know until this past year that there was an under boob deodorant. You know.
And I keep walking around smelling my under boobs, and they seem fine to me.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Now I'm all concerned. You know.
Anyway, that's the important stuff. KD4CVD.
That's because you don't have an adorable blanket to take care of.
Well, I wonder if I could give $19.95 a month and get a blanket or a tote bag. Remember, forever it was just tote bag. That was the thing.
Yeah, well, if you can get it for $19.95 and then you cancel your monthly donation.
Yeah, I want a blanket or a t-shirt, tote bag, maybe a visor hat.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for the net, Greg?
No, KD4TV.
That's Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, who hates football. Doesn't hate it, he just doesn't watch it. And he's in Antioch. Who else is West?
KG4ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, Jack. Are you watching any football?
Yeah, I used to be a big football fan, but not probably in the last 10 years. But I guess my favorite one was, what was it? It was the Super Bowl Shuffle. What was that, back in the 80s, like 84, 85?
I don't know when. I have to look and see what year it is. I do remember the game because I was watching football in that era. But yeah, that was a lot of those games were great. But I don't know. You know, football's almost become too slick. I guess I'll put it that way. And now we've injected singers into the mix.
Yeah, well, back then, Tennessee didn't have any teams, and so I wasn't as interested. I got interested when the Oilers came. I was, a big fan then, and then in the transition to the Titans, but then over the years, not so much.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. I got soured on football simply because I realized I was wasting an awful lot of time watching 3 football games a weekend, or then Monday night, and then often on Thursday night. And I realized, why am I doing all this? I'm spending a lot of time doing nothing but look at games, and I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you who played last year.
No, me neither. Although I think the Chiefs did, because I think they won last year, but only because I heard that recently. I think this is their 3rd trip or something like that to the Super Bowl, something like that. But see, it doesn't mean anything to me because I'm not a fan. It doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah, same here. Well, anyway, thanks for doing that, Paul. I'll let somebody else check in. KG4LV.
Very good. That was Jack and Donaldson. Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor. Who else is West?
NADNUT.
Hello, Carl. Any football special Super Bowls you remember?
No, my mama said that the devil's in the football.
Well, your mama's always right.
That's right. Oh, me. I can hear Kevin Good coming in down here and that Glaypool station. But thanks for doing the net tonight.
Very good. That was Carl, and he's in Franklin, November 8, November uniform Tampa. Had Tampa on my mind. November 8, November uniform Tango. Who else is West?
KC4TNQ.
Hey, haven't heard from you a little bit. How you doing?
Well, been kind of under the weather for the last 2 weeks, so had a bad sinus infection. Still ain't myself there over.
Oh, did the antibiotics take care of it?
Well, I started them too. Or no, it was Monday night, so it's working, but I'm still got headaches and head pressure, and it went in my eyes. It was just a mess.
Yeah, I've had a bout of that myself, not recently, but man, those are probably the worst, really. I mean, they're worse than a regular headache, and it's an awful feeling.
Yeah, funny thing about it, my friend, my wife's got a friend that lives in Maine. Her son is in Colorado, and he had the same symptoms as I did.
I wonder if it's a variation of the flu that's running around and it attacks the sinuses instead.
I have no idea, but it's been a task, and I really hadn't felt like doing anything. But I even had to miss a day of work. I hadn't missed a day of work in years.
Oh, wow, that must have been really bad for you.
Well, when you can't see, you know.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, well, I'm glad it's getting better. So you got a ways to go, do you?
Well, we'll see. It's getting better every day, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's it's a process.
Yeah, because there's I guess that new COVID strain running around, which is a little bit disturbing.
Well, they never did test me in the pink eye, and I got it in one eye real bad, and it was starting to get in the other one, and of course I had to do eye drops and all that junk. So
Yeah, man, it's rough. No football to think about.
well, I was thinking about it when you was talking about it. Days, me and my wife, we watch it for the commercials and halftime. But as a kid, I always liked the Minnesota Vikings, because I always.
Yeah, oh no, the Vikings were, and it was funny because the Vikings always had pretty good, not always, but they had good teams. Never really made it. I don't think they ever won the Super Bowl, did they?
I have no idea. Then it was the Steelers' turn, and then the Cowboys' turn, and then of course the Patriots' turn. It's just it's never in the cycle. You never know who's they gonna.
That's right. Sometimes it seems planned, doesn't it?
Exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. I'm gonna call it a night, and KC14.
Very good, very good. That was Charles Kilo. Sinus infection, something fierce. That's including me. Who else is west or south?
Hey,
One causing all the infections. You know that?
oh, absolutely. It's ugly breaking out everywhere.
Yeah, it is. All you have to do is go out in public and you see it.
Yep. Want to wish everybody a happy Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year. Oh, is that correct? Is that what it is today, or is this the year lunar? Man, I can't even say that. Lunar.
Try to strain yourself, but today is the first day of the Lunar New Year.
Oh, okay, very good. I didn't know that. That's being the 10th of February. Beyond that, I mean, connected to that.
No, not really. No.
Oh, okay, very good. Anything else?
Favorite Super Bowl was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago at the Dome down in Louisiana. About halfway through the game, power went out.
Oh, yeah, I've forgotten about that. I don't think I saw that game, but I heard about it. How long was
About, I don't know, half an hour or so. It let the Ravens come back and win because me and my son, we were, whatever team, I just arbitrarily picked the other one just so I can give him a hard time.
Yeah, and that was in New Orleans, so that was the outage. But it's an old stadium, so I'm not too surprised.
Well, I don't know how old it is.
Well, it's been there a while.
Well, yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Very good. That's Tony, KF4, KFQ in Smyrna. Who else is west or south?
Kilo Mike 4, November, Yankee, Bill, Murphy,
Hello, Bill. Are you doing well today?
Yes, terrific.
You do any Super Bowl watching over the years?
I was never into the football. We didn't have that back in school where I went then.
Oh, was it a small town, was it?
Farm town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good. It must have been a small farm town, right?
Yeah, about 300.
Oh, you'd have a hard time fielding the baseball team.
But it was, 10, 15, 20 miles away to a football game, so I never did go.
Oh, I understand. I understand. I actually do. I have been to a few NFL games over the years. I could probably count on one hand how many I've been to, and I hate going. I won't go to any more because it's abusive being in a stadium with all those crowds and all that beer and all that. Ugh, it's awful.
I kind of like to stay away from crowds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do it. I didn't. There were a few times I didn't want to do it at all, but I went with one time I was with a company event and no more. Not doing it.
I gotta let you go.
Very good. Appreciate you being in there, Bill. That was Bill in Murfreesboro, Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee. Who else is Sal? Hey, very good, Larry. Got you in there. A little noisy, but I got you in there. Any Super Bowls you remember? All right, another football hater, which is no big deal. Kilo Echo Force, you're a Yankee Victor. Larry in Rockville. Who else is south or west? I mean east.
KM4, wow.
Very good. Any touch football games there you remember?
No, I've never been a big football fan. I like college football, but I could give not one care about pro ball.
You don't care about somebody that's making $5 million a year, man.
It just makes me jealous.
I know it. I don't give it much thought, really. I gave up on that. Like I said, I gave up on football many moons ago, and I can't even. Now you couldn't even. If you named a team, I'd have to think real hard to remember what city it's in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Paul. And I'd like to say before I forget, I'd like to say congratulations to Ray KQ4 OKO for being a new ham and welcome him to the group. And hope he stays with us for a long time.
Oh yeah, very good. That was Mike, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Another, I'll call him a football abstainer, who, or maybe it's a football. Let's see, football. Think of another term there. An atheist. A football would be a footballist. That's what it is. Who else is Sal? I mean, East. Please come now.
K5S.
Hey, good to see you at the breakfast this morning, as well as Michael, as well as Jack.
Absolutely, kind of the usual bunch.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have some more people show up. I'm glad Richard came today. It's been it's been a couple, 3-4 months since he was here.
That's true.
No, it's always good to see people firsthand, especially newcomers. No, it's always good to meet people because you can put a name with a face with a voice, and then you know who you're talking. It's it makes for a much friendly atmosphere.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice to see some. We went there for a while. We had 20 or 30 at a time in there, and now we're kind of back down to just a few of us. And it'd be nice to see some other faces every now and then to add to the group.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a prize drawing or something. I don't want to do that, but maybe we have to bring in an entertainer or a juggler or something.
There you go. We just have to try to find some way to get some more participation, on these rainy mornings like this. But yeah, nothing for the net today. Just checking in, and thank you for the net, and I'll let you get back to it.
All right, no football memories.
Let's see. That's the Predators versus the Atlanta Braves, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They were playing soccer, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Kerry?
That's it, my friend.
Very good. That was Kerry, Kilo 5 Sierra. He is in Bear. No, yeah, he's in. Think of it in a sec. Baird's Mill, right? Yeah, that's it. Who else is east? No more east. Hello, Kevin. Man, you came real close to the sun today, didn't you? Next to not the sun, but the ski lift.
Yeah, there you go. I was, I was over on your side of town there. You know what? I'll tell you what, I get out very little, and it was a pleasant surprise to be over there. I was surprised to be able to talk to you. I'm trying to go, I was trying to make a joke with you a little bit earlier and tell you that I was going to come over and spend a couple hours with you while the girls shop. But, I don't know, maybe that was probably a good idea.
Yeah, no, not bad at all. No, it's always nice to get out and to go, and it's even nice to go out other places just because it gives you. Because I know it's like I'm home most of the time, and so when I get out, it's like a holiday, man.
Oh yeah, that's about the way it is with me too. I don't get out very often. I try to keep it that way, but they kidnap me every once in a while, make me get out of the house.
Yeah, I know about you, but I'm on a short leash.
Very short.
Yeah, very good. Any football memories in your past?
Are you speaking of me playing football or watching football?
No, it'd be like Super Bowl memories of the past that you might have been interested in.
No, not really. Every time I watch them, I root for the underdog.
Yeah, I'm the same way because I don't have any favorites anymore. I used to a long time ago, but not now. In fact, I grew up in Buffalo, well, outside of Buffalo, and the Buffalo Bills were an AFL team, and I rooted for them only because that's all I knew. And anyway, it's I don't root for them anymore. I couldn't care whether they win or lose. It matters not to me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's about the same way here. I don't watch it anymore, really. I occasionally catch it every once in a while. And, watch the Super Bowl whenever it comes on. That's about it. I don't really even have a team anymore, to tell you the truth. I got a couple of shirts that I wear from the old days.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have anything left at all. I do have a T-shirt from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when I lived there, but it was a gift. I wouldn't have bought it. But no, it's just no big deal. I find it kind of well, I do. I find football to blow 3 hours on a football game is a lot of time to be spending.
Oh, yeah. I ain't said the truth. All right, well, I'll let you get on with it. I'll take care of you safe. All right, we're going to 10 meters next?
No, 6 meters next, 50.135. Well, it's actually 244. I'm sorry, 144.240 first, and then 50.135.
Okay, I'll meet you around there. KG4,
very good. Glad you checked in, Kevin. That was Kilo Golf for Mike India Zulu. Kevin in Lebanon. Who else is east?
Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf.
Hey, Kevin. Glad you got together with I'll get his name here in a second, with Ray and get him squared away.
Yeah, we've been working on that for a while now. He was finally able to get everything all connected up last weekend, so got his call signed this week. So I told him to come on over and we get him checked in on the net.
Yeah, it's no, it's good. It's good to have another person on the Simplex net. It's good to have another person in ham radio because it's all good. It's all a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure out the next steps with him. He's got a little HT. We're figuring out what he's going to do, a mobile rig in his car or set up a home station or what. But we're going to get him on the air, I think.
Yeah, you can actually get a relatively low power dual band for somewhere around $100. For the really cheap ones, I think it's even cheaper than that for the single band, like a 2 meter. But a decent radio is going to cost $120 maybe.
Oh yeah. I've got some over here. I think I'm gonna let him borrow. He's just gonna have to get power supply and antenna or whatever to go along with it until he can figure out what he wants long term.
Yeah, that's right. And the only hazard to that, I think, is I remember going through that. I've seen others go through it. You spend $100 something, and then you realize, you know, I really should have spent the $200 because I had the money, you know, for something a little nicer, you know.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I don't know. I kind of put radio on the back burner for a number of years after I got my ticket, and I had my buddy move away, and I got a new vehicle and wanted to get back into it, put a new radio in there, and it's radios have moved a long ways over the years from what they were when I first got into the hobby.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say that one of the things I learned over the years, and it's not just ham radio, I learned it in other areas of my life, is I purchased things that I thought I wanted, and because I wanted to get something in a hurry or just because I wanted it, I bought something. And then I realized, you know, it was a cheap model. I'll just use it that simply. Anyway, and I've learned in life that, okay, fine, get along with a really cheap thing, but save up your money. Really just, if you have to, just save up your money, get the one you really want, rather than struggling with something cheap, you know?
Yeah, I agree on that. Part of my problem too, though, here that I researched everything and just go to the nth degree on it, and then just I can't make a decision. I get decision paralysis and can't figure out actually what I want to get because I just overanalyze it, I think.
Yeah, I've been guilty of the same thing, and I have purchased things that are dumb, thinking I was really being smart. And I got a couple things sitting around the shack here. They're pretty dumb, but they're all right. I still have them and they still work. And anyway, anything else for the net, Kevin? Any football memories of late?
My football days are long, long past. I guess my wife and my son are Vanderbilt fans, and me and my daughter are Tennessee fans. And we went to the Vanderbilt and Tennessee game when it was here in Nashville last year. And my daughter, I don't know exactly what she did, but she made my son very upset at the game, and I think he ended up punching her and giving her a black eye.
Oh my gosh, that's a good memory. It's a memory. It's a good big memory, but it's not a good one. Yeah, that's awful. No, we were just asking about if there was any Super Bowl memories, but if you don't have any of those, that's good too.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge NFL fan.
Oh no, I'm with you. Like you probably heard me earlier. I have not watched usually parts or even full football game in years. Can't even tell you the last time I watched. I couldn't even remember when the last time I watched a full football game. It's been 20 or 30 years. Maybe more like 30, 20. Yeah, at least 25 years. Anyway, anything else for that, Kevin?
No, I appreciate you being there. Appreciate you doing what you're doing, and appreciate you talking to Ray this evening.
Oh yeah, very good. Oh well, you know me, I'll talk to anybody. No, that's not, I don't make any distinctions. New, old, you know, new hams, old hams, doesn't matter. Who else is that was Kevin, by the way, in Gladeville, Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf. Who else is east? Hey boy, you're really noisy again. You got to get that antenna squared away. Boy, really noisy. I don't know. I can't even tell you what you just said. Okay, go ahead.
Man, he's S5 to me. I hear no noise at all.
Well, good for you. No, he's just noisy to me. I mean, you're fine, but he's noisy, and most of the other people are fine. You know, like Ricky was fine. As I'm saying, there's something going on, maybe just in that direction, you know.
Could be carry on.
All right, Richard, appreciate you being there. That's Richard and Stephanie, his bride, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, and Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo. Who else is north?
come back to north?
Well, I was just on east, so, well, you don't have to check in, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you started at north and I missed it. I was waiting for lollygazers and all that other mess. Okay, Carlin up here in Angel Town, Best Base. I'd like to check in and say happy duty to everybody. And your last input there was S7 on me up here. I'm not hearing all that noise. Now here, maybe about what would you call it? Maybe last Saturday or something. Or, no, it wasn't last Saturday because I couldn't get in there last Saturday. The Wednesday before last Saturday, I had some noise build up during that time and stuff, and it just comes and go. Of course, it's been doing a lot of raining up there, so that's kind of helped dissipate a lot of static off the power lines and stuff. So I don't know, but anyway, passing on a little message. Welcome to the ham fraternity out there, to the new ham out there. You know, I was away from radio. I heard y'all talking about it, so I'm going to say, welcome to being a ham. So that's all I can say for now. Can't remember what his name was. But anyway, I'm sure you're going to remind me. With that said, I guess I'll earn key here.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that was Ray. And his call is Kilo Quebec 4 Oscar, Kilo Oscar. And that on the line there was Carlin in Bethpage, Angeltown, Kilo Delta 4 Victor, Uniform Whiskey. And it's a little bit noisy to you. Not too bad, though, just a little bit of noise. So I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the weather. To me, anyway. And the ski lift, it probably needs lubrication. Who else is, we're going for lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers now. Oh, I know you're out there. Let me call that. I think you're out there. So I don't hear anybody else. Well, we had 23 check-ins, unless there's anybody else who wants to check in. I'm going to move over to 144.240, unless I hear a complaint or a check-in or anything else. Anybody else out there? All right, I didn't hear Stan in there tonight. Well, that's good, though. We'll probably catch him on the other bands. We had 23 in there. We're moving over to 144.240. See you there. There we go. I'm on 144.240 here on the Simplex Net. Who else? We're starting from the north. Please come down.
84 VUW calling in Angeltown, Bethpage.
All right, we got Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, Carlin and Bethpage. Who else is north? Nobody else north? Not copying anybody. How about west?
KG4 ILD.
Very good. We got Jack in Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west?
KG4 CVE.
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. That would be Greg in Antioch. Who else is west? Is anybody copying a station? I hear something in the background there. All right, very good. Anybody else west? Please come down. Down to the south.
KF4KFQ.
Very good. We got Tony, KF4KFQ in Smyrna. The wonderful trash-free Smyrna, by the way. Who else is south? South or east?
KM4 YRF.
Well, you sound like crap, man.
Okay.
No, you sound fine. Sound like there's a little tiny bit of feedback in there. Are you doing anything different?
Nope.
No, just got a little. Listen. If you go and look right at the 59:20 minutes after the net, if you look at 59:20 when we finish, you'll hear what I hear.
All right. I'm wondering if it may still be this linear power supply I'm using.
Oh, I'm betting it is too, but I just want to make sure he knew what it was, what it sounded like. So you would see what his power supply. His power supply needs tuning, I think.
Well, maybe. I'm going to switch back over to the switching power supply here if I can ever get enough courage to do that.
Yeah, it seems funny though. The linear is giving more problems than the switching.
Well, I think it wouldn't be a problem if my radio wasn't sitting directly on top of it.
Well, maybe you may be right. How about getting a sheet of lead?
I'll keep playing fine, Paul.
For Yankee Romeo Foxtrot here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east?
Okay, 48884 miles.
All right, I got two Kevins in there. The Kevin in Gladeville, Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf, with a good signal, and then Kilo Z Kevin in. By the way, they spell their names differently, Brian. And that's Kevin in Lebanon. The one is Kevin, the other one's Keven. Mr. Unique Kevin. He doesn't want the old standard Kevin. Who else is east or north? Anywhere. Anywhere. Baggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers, please come down. Very good. We had 8 in there. Upper sideband. We're going to move over to 50.135. We're going next. And I don't know if you want to make that announcement over in 2 meters. Michael.
Will do, Paul.
All right, we'll do that. It's K4 PEW. Look, we're going to move over to 144 at 135. We're already on 144. We'll see you there. Okay. Now 6 meters, 50.135. Looking for check-ins from the north. Please come down. Nobody else north? How about north or west? We got KO4 OTV. That's Joel over there in the West Ashland City. Who else is west? Anybody else west? Please come down. Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west? Anything I can't hear? How about south? All right, nobody south. I'm the east.
KM4 YRF.
Yeah, I pre-win for east.
I love it.
I do, because I got my headphones on, so because it's on 6 meters, it's lousy. Who else is east? That was Michael, KM4YRF. Very good. We got Kevin, Kilo Golf 4 Mike India Zulu in Lebanon. A little low, but I still haven't. Who else is east?
Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf.
Very good. You sound good in there tonight. Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf in Gladeville. Who else is east? I didn't hear Jack. No Jack. I can't hear Jack. All right, can't hear anything. Anybody else, any place, anywhere? Please come down. And we're going to move over to our secret frequency over there on 220 band, 223.415. Oh, man, I let the secret out. We'll catch you there. Whew. Yes, with Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net now. Yeah, wherever I am. 223.415. Please come in. Oh, don't sound so excited, Tony. So wait, started. I dropped the microphone, and that was the end of that. So I got me, K4PEW. I heard KM4YRF. Tony, KF4, KFQ. I think I heard Greg in there, didn't I? Was see, I'm clairvoyant. I knew you were gonna say it. Very good. We got Jack in there. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Anybody else? Very good. We got Carlin in there. Kilo Delta 4 Victor. Beth Page. Who else is any place anywhere? Ah, awesome. Kilo Golf 4. Mike, Lou, Kevin over in Lebanon. Which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anybody else out there? Well, that's a pretty big number for it. Well, it's a pretty average number for us these days. Is there anybody else in there? Please come in. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot to say it to myself on the 2-meter net, but my best memories of football are from the 60s when I was pretty young. I was graduated from high school in '67. So, but Super Bowl III, as I recall, because it was Joe Namath, and he was then a hero to me because he was a rebel of sorts. He came out of the University of Pennsylvania, and he was one of the best quarterbacks of that era. I don't know about ever, but he was really one of the great quarterbacks in that era. The word, you can look it up on the web. He was at the pre-game interview with the press. I believe it was the day before, and they said, "Who's going to win the game, Joe?" And he says, "Oh, we're going to win. He used the words, I give." You might as well have said, "I'm going to shoot the president." He said that because for those of you aren't old enough to remember, the old AFL was considered bums to the NFL, to the original NFL. They were the substandard league. They were like the trade. The NFL was the high-end, exclusive area, and it was just so funny to him to say that in fact, one of the football I heard later, one of the guys who since passed away, he was an old NFL football player. He went to the game, and when he realized that Joe Namath's team, the Jets, were going to beat what was then the Baltimore Colts, he says he got physically ill and had to leave the game. So that was and I remember that. I mean, it's no big deal to me now, but football games can be exciting when you're young, I think, more so than when you're older. Like a lot of people on the net tonight, expressed, football is not a big part of their life. But don't go to Buffalo because they have the strongest team for the number of people, for the percentage of people that support the team, not just go to the games, but the airtime on television and participating in all the paraphernalia that gets sold. I mean, if you're a Bills fan in Buffalo, and if you're a Green Bay fan in Green Bay, you're a bum.
I was never able to invest all that emotion fight the hope.
Oh no, I get it. I really do. It's I feel the same way about a lot of things now. And of course, at age, I don't really care. My question is always this: why would anyone want people that go absolutely nuts? That's the ones I'm talking about. The ones who will go to all the games. They will buy all the paraphernalia. They will spend games. They'll do everything they could possibly do with football. They do. And I'm thinking, why would you invest so much time and money for a team you? Yeah, that's another issue. Enjoy a sport. It's another thing to let it control your emotions. I got funny looks at that at one of the breakfasts a few months ago when people were talking about sports, and I said, "Well, I really enjoy soccer," and everybody. I said, "Yeah, soccer. I enjoy soccer because I had two of my boys played soccer, and I went to a lot of soccer games. And I learned it's a great sport because it's not I hate to say this, but it's better than football because it's not. It has more finesse to it from few. Because football is it's a collision sport, or soccer is not a collision sport. It happens, but it's not on purpose usually. Yeah, oh no, that's what I'm getting at. It's a much different sport, and it's another. That's one of the sports you have to learn to like the game because for somebody who grows up with baseball and football and the regular sports we had soccer, we didn't have any cricket, we didn't have any rugby, we didn't have any lacrosse, and now those sports are fairly much more relevant in our societies now. But to see soccer, to me, I thought it was boring when I was a kid. I saw it on TV. No, no thanks.
The thought of watching soccer makes me good to play, but that's just me. I can't watch it. But I enjoy playing, but I can't imagine watching.
Oh yeah, well, when I was a kid, my sport was really baseball. I enjoyed playing baseball more than I did anything else. The basketball was in there too, but
My last year in Little League, I had the high family area for 596, and then 13 and 4 years of high school. So it played a lot of basketball, but no football. And we all played. We did something every day. We just do, Xbox computer out.
yeah, I think that's what's wrong now with youth is they're too busy with all the other diversions that we. It's nothing. In fact, when I was getting up this morning, going out at 7:30, quarter to 8, I was going out to the car to go to breakfast. Last day, it wasn't raining at that moment, and it was funny as I got in the car and drove away. I remembered, just came to mind for some reason. I don't know whether it was just I remembered how I used to love to get up on a Saturday morning early and get on my bicycle, and I would go to this place in the woods and go fishing in the Niagara River. And that was a wonderful day to me. That was just doing that was fun. I'm sorry, say that I got a little garbled there.
I had changed the world that would come with sound, would come scratch on my window to pick down Saturday morning. Yes,
That's funny. Yeah, it's hard to tame, but to a lot of people, squirrels are a target.
yeah, absolutely. But it's weird. You can develop a bond with them.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine that worked with me, he had uh, cared for a baby squirrel that had fallen out of the nest, and the mother didn't retrieve it or whatever, and he nursed it back to life. And he had a big cage that he kept it in the house when he wasn't there, but other times it ran around the house, and it was his pet. Yeah, that's funny. I probably liked it.
So when they get to really know you, they'll just lay out like a bear spit rag next to you, just chilling.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That'd be pretty cute. Well, but anybody else that got anything for the net tonight here on 223.415?
No, I was ready to play Chris and look for some ice cream.
I don't think you're gonna have to look too hard.
Oh no, I know around pretty fast.
Oh, it knows where you're at too.
Hey, there.
Very good. It's trying to run right now if it could.
All right, good night, everybody.
Very good. Appreciate everybody checking in. We had a grand total of 7 people, and that was myself, K4PW, KM4Y, my Juliet, K4, KF4, KF2, Tony in Smyrna, KD4, CVE, Greg in Antioch, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima in Donaldson, Kilo Delta 4, Victor, Uniform Whiskey, Carlin, Bethpage, Angeltown, and Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu. And good to have everybody in there, and everybody have a good night. K4 people. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Everybody,